So if you face a crisis, if you face a difficult situation, then you need to stop putting a question mark where God has put a period, and you need to say, this is where I'm at, and this is where I'm supposed to be. Because when you understand that you're in the middle of God's will, you can say, now I can have faith. If God wants me to be here, even though it's a difficult situation, God has led me to this place, therefore I can trust him to get me out of this situation. And when you're in a crisis, you need to realize that either the Lord has placed you there or the Lord has allowed you to be there. And only God might know the reason. I wish it wasn't like this, but God operates so many times on a need-to-know basis. A lot of times we want God to give us the full download, and we want to be able to read the end of the story and know what's going to happen. And when we know what's going to happen, then we can make bold steps of faith and step into the trouble and step into the hard time because we know the ending. Well, in an ultimate sense, he's done that in the book of Revelation. But in your life, he hasn't done that. He's saying everything in between is, I'm going to let you know on a need-to-know basis. As you need to know, I'm going to tell you. So, what are you going to do? You're going to stand up straight, let the Lord be the glory and the lifter of your head, and you're going to proceed forward in faith. Because it's your job to trust God. The only reason that you're there is God is allowing you to be in a place to test your faith. You see, a faith that can't be tested can't be trusted. And so the Lord will bring you to a place. Now, at the end of the day, none of the Israelites died. None of the Israelites experienced anything except a faster route to where they were going. They might have had some dirty laundry along the way when they saw the Egyptians and the chariots coming. But outside of that, there was no killing, there was no stealing, and there was no destroying. God had put them and positioned them in a place to test their faith. Look at people in the Bible, and you'll see this. Hagar is a single mom, and she's forced into the desert with her son to die of apparent thirst. But God does a miracle for her. Joseph, filled with divine dreams and vision, wants to fulfill God's plan for his life, was seized, was stripped, was sold as a slave, and imprisoned in Egypt, only to become the prime minister of the most powerful nation in the world. King David was anointed king of Israel and of Judah, only to be pursued almost continually from the time that he was anointed until he became king by the army that he was eventually going to lead. Hezekiah was a godly king that was seeking revival and renewal in his nation, only to be attacked by the most powerful army that the world had ever seen to that day, that laid siege to Jerusalem. And then God did a miracle for him. The disciples, Jesus told them to cross the sea and to sail into the storm. You see, there's this false idea that says to be in the middle of God's will, that everything is going to be easy and everything is going to be free of trouble.